Okay. Good afternoon or evening, as the case may be, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Lori Ham. I'm the Executive Director of the American Guild of Notaries Public, and it's truly an honor to welcome you to our very first, our inaugural credentialing meeting. With me today is Bill Soroka, our Vice President of Business Development, and we have some other guests here, our President Timothy Reinegger, Christopher Pratt, Mark Aronson, and let's see, I guess that's our group for presentation. So we're going to start with our show here for a minute. Start with a little housekeeping, and I've turned that job over to Bill.
Yeah. Housekeeping. This is the only place I'm good at housekeeping is online, where it doesn't include a vacuum. Guys, we are recording this event, so I promise you that you will receive a replay. We'll have that posted up on at least the website shortly and probably a few other places for you. We are keeping the chat open, so we encourage you to connect with each other, show love and support to this amazing group that you're going to meet tonight. Feel free to ask your questions, but in the interest of saving time and getting us through the entire presentation and ceremony tonight, we're probably not going to be immediately addressing questions. Also, like I said, feel free to offer congratulations, show that love and support to these very first credentialed notaries that you're going to meet tonight. And thank you for joining us this afternoon and evening. And I'll bounce it right back over to you, Lori.
Thanks, Bill. Today marks a meaningful moment, not just for the Guild, but for the notarial profession. For the first time, we gather to formally recognize notaries who have chosen to step forward, to be evaluated against very clear standards, and to help define what professional recognition in notarial practice can look like. We're grateful to everyone joining us this evening, credential recipients, family members, colleagues, partners, and friends. And we're especially grateful to those of you who believed in this effort early, before there was any kind of precedent or proof of how it would unfold. Tonight, we celebrate that trust. To open our ceremony, it is my pleasure to introduce the President of the American Guild of Notaries Public, Mr. Timothy Reinegger.
You, Lori, for that generous introduction, and good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, where you are, and welcome. On behalf of the American Guild of Notaries Public, thank you for joining us for what is truly a historic moment. Tonight marks the first credentialing ceremony of the Guild, and the beginning of a tradition we intend to carry forward for many years to come. Notaries are essential to public trust, more so than ever now in this age of AI, as we're all hearing about now, and keeping the human as a key trust factor in transactions is going to be more and more a challenge, and the notaries are perfectly poised for that. Every day our work supports families, businesses, courts, governments, and communities, but too often that work is invisible. AGNP was formed to change that. This credentialing program was created to recognize notaries who choose to go beyond the minimum, who commit to deeper knowledge, higher ethical standards, and professional accountability. To our credentialed notaries, you did not arrive here by accident. You invested your time, you subjected your work to review, you demonstrated not only competence, but integrity. Tonight is about acknowledging that commitment and making it visible. This ceremony is not about perfection. It is about professionalism. It is about showing the public and one another that standards matter. And it is about honoring those who were willing to step forward first and help establish those standards. As we move through tonight's program, you'll hear more about what the Guild has built this year, how the credentialing tiers work, and the remarkable individuals being recognized today. Thank you for being part of this moment and for helping us set the bar for what notarial professionalism can be. Back to you, Lori.
Thank you, Tim. That was great. And exactly the message that we want to share with the folks who are on the call with us today. I've spent over 20 years of my professional life working with notaries. And one thing that's always been clear to me, notaries care deeply about doing their work well, even when the systems around them haven't always recognized or adequately acknowledged that effort. That understanding has shaped everything that we've accomplished this year. And now we're going to interrupt this program to share my screen again. Theoretically. Come on. Oh, you have to hit the share button. Always something in the technical side, right?
Minor detail.
Exactly. When the American Guild of Notaries Public began this work, we were guided by a simple but important question. What would meaningful professional recognition for notaries look like? Not just what sounds impressive, not what's easy to market, but what would genuinely reflect knowledge, experience, and integrity in notarial practice. Over the past year, that question has shaped everything that we've done. We began by focusing on fundamentals, professional standards, ethics, and structure. Notaries operate at the intersection of law, identity, and trust. And any credentialing program worth its name has to reflect that responsibility. So that meant slowing down, asking the hard questions, and resisting the temptation to rush toward visible outcomes. What we learned very quickly is that credibility takes time. And that's not a flaw, it's a feature. As we developed the credentialing framework, we were intentional about creating tiers that reflect both progression and purpose. Not every notary needs to pursue the same path, and excellence looks different depending on one's goals. That structure has emerged is meant to recognize that reality while still holding firm to shared standards. We also learned that notaries are eager for substance. Again and again, we heard from professionals who wanted something more than a title. They wanted recognition that will mean something to employers, institutions, and the public. That insight reinforced our commitment to building a program that complements rather than competes with existing programs. AGNP exists to support existing institutions by focusing on the statutory foundations, promoting the best practices, professional development, and voluntary credential that signal a higher level of preparation. This event represents the culmination of that first year of work. But more importantly, it represents a beginning. The notaries being recognized this evening stepped forward without precedent, without guarantees, and without knowing exactly how this concept would unfold. They chose to participate because they believe, as we do, that the profession is strengthened when standards are clear and excellence is visible. As we look towards 2026, our focus remains steady and deliberate. We will refine what we've built, expand thoughtfully, and continue working collaboratively with partners, educators, and commissioning authorities. Growth matters, but integrity matters more. This inaugural class that you'll meet tonight has helped set the tone for everything that follows. Their participation establishes a benchmark, not just for the future credential candidates, but for the Guild itself. We are grateful for their trust, their patience, and their willingness to help shape something new, something we believe will have lasting value for the profession and for the public it serves. Thank you all for being part of this important first chapter. We're going to begin tonight by honoring those whose contributions to the notarial profession extend beyond credentials and titles. The designation of Master Emeritus is not a tier, and it's not tied to a current commission status. It is an honor reserved for individuals whose work, leadership, and service have had a lasting impact on the profession. These are individuals who have shaped thinking, guided policy, mentored others, and helped move the profession forward. Master Emeritus is not about current status, it is about enduring impact. We are building forward, but we do so standing on the shoulders of those who helped establish the principles we rely on today. On behalf of the Guild, we offer our sincere gratitude to our Master Emeritus honorees for the standards you upheld, the paths you have cleared, and the example that you continue to set. And it is with deep respect that we recognize you this evening. First of all, Michael Closen, Master Emeritus, Professor, author, the Dean of Notaries. I don't think he was able to join us tonight. Next, our own Timothy Reiniger, the AGNP President, and kind of what I call the father of online notarization. Tim was the one who drafted and co-authored the Virginia and the Montana legislation allowing for online notarization, remote online notarization. He's been at the forefront of this for years, and we just owe him so much for his insight and vision in those areas. And I personally am so grateful that he has agreed to serve as the president and the guiding council for the AGNP. And our third honoree tonight is Bill Soroka, best-selling author, the notary coach, and just a brilliant mind in helping notaries succeed in what they do. So, to those three gentlemen, I extend my sincere appreciation and congratulations. You, I believe, have received your certificates in the mail on that. So, okay. Now, before we introduce our credentialed notaries, we have another special award that we want to recognize. This year has been one of intense growth. We went from nothing to where we are today, which looking back is in my head pretty impressive. But there's one person who we also need to recognize. When I first reached out for people who to get them excited about this program and to get them on board, there was one person who stepped forward right away, my friend Nancy Pratt. And it was because of her commitment and her enthusiasm for the project and the concept that we're here today. This wouldn't have happened without her. And so it is in her memory that we have established the Nancy Pratt Award for Vision and Leadership. And we are absolutely grateful, humbled, and thankful that her son, Christopher Pratt, is here to share that and share her story. And hold on, I'll stop sharing. Chris, if you would please come forward.
Thank you. I am honored to be here and be part of recognizing the first recipient of the Nancy G. Pratt Award for Vision and Leadership. I'd like to thank Lori and the entire board for creating this award in honor of my mother, who was very excited to help launch and eventually propel this organization into reality. She talked about it really nonstop as she was retiring in the first part of July. It was very exciting for her. This award stands as the highest honor of the American Guild of Notaries Public, created to recognize those whose work has reshaped notarization in lasting, meaningful, and forward-looking ways. This award is not simply a recognition of professional achievement. It is a tribute to a legacy defined by innovation, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to public trust. My mother was a trailblazer long before modernization became a mandate. She saw what notarization could be, something secure, accessible, and technologically advanced in a time when many could not yet imagine it. Honestly, as someone outside of this industry, I found myself confused when I heard about these challenges, and she would patiently answer and explain the intricacies of the work and the hurdles that she and you, her colleagues, spent years overcoming. Through decades of leadership, advocacy, and collaboration, my mom helped build the standards and safeguards that underpin electronic and remote notarization today. Her influence is woven into the fabric of modern notarial practice, and her leadership and that of her colleagues in this field guides the profession forward. This award exists to preserve my mom's spirit, visionary, principled, and fearless in challenging outdated systems in service of something better. It honors those who lead nationally, elevate professional standards, protect the public, and inspire others through mentorship and collaboration. I'm honored to be here to help present this inaugural award, and in doing so, it celebrates my mom's enduring impact, and in recognition of a recipient whose career reflects the very qualities that defined her life's work. The Nancy G. Pratt Award for Vision and Leadership is presented to Mr. Mark Aronson, a colleague and friend of my mom, and affirms and commends his vision, leadership, and commitment that have fundamentally transformed the notary profession. Mark, I'm happy to turn it over to you, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Sorry, hold this together a little bit. I prepared a speech because those of you who know, if I don't have a speech, we'll just go on for another hour or so, and I'll never get done. Too much talking. So thank you, Chris. I am humbled and grateful to receive the inaugural Nancy G. Pratt Award for Vision and Leadership. Thank the board of directors for their kind consideration. I'd like to thank Christopher Pratt and the Pratt family for their encouragement and support of this award and for approving me as its first recipient. I'll do my best to live up to their intentions and to honor Nancy's legacy. Believe it or not, I try to talk my way out of this award. I know dozens of individuals, many of you who are listening to me now, who are more worthy of this honor, more influential in their industries, individuals who provided me with advice, education, encouragement, direction, and correction when I needed it. Not the least of these individuals was my friend Nancy. I do not know Nancy for as long as many of you on the call today, but as you know, It didn't take Nancy long to get to know you, offer her support, become a valued mentor. She had all the qualities and attributes we honor by this award: vision, principle, dedication, commitment, and excellence. The list goes on. More important, Nancy was loved and respected by those of us who had the great fortune to work with her, volunteer for committees with her, attend conferences with her, and yes, raise a glass or two in celebration with her. Not only did we talk about our professional endeavors, we also shared our personal trials and tribulations. She knew instinctively how to listen attentively and provide wise counsel, common sense, and humor. A conversation with Nancy always raised my spirits, calmed my anxieties, and set me back on a productive path. Some of us knew Nancy through the mortgage industry. Some of us knew Nancy through the notary community. No matter how we crossed paths, Nancy had the ability to draw people together and working to a common purpose. She was, as they say, a uniter, not a divider. The guild she envisioned and helped establish is a natural culmination of a worthy career guided by Nancy's commitment and personal integrity. This award will be a constant reminder to me to emulate her, to remember her, and to honor her life and achievements. Famous Russian psychologist once said, "Through others, we become ourselves." Because of the hundreds of friends that I have in the notary space, the mortgage space, and related industries, I'd like to thank them all, but Lori wouldn't give me another hour to go through the list. So I can only pick a few and assure the rest of you that I have not forgotten your names. Perhaps I'll be in touch via email or something and let you know. So only two that I can mention this evening. One is my coworker, Ray. Ray's been with me for a little more than 2 decades now. I never leave home. I never make a talk. I never do almost anything without Ray's advice, knowledge, expertise, patience, and sense of humor also. So I have to thank Ray publicly. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today without him. And of course, most importantly, is my fiance, Judy. We've been together now almost 3 decades. She's never complained about my numerous trips, about coming home at 2 o'clock in the morning. She helps me pack my suitcase to make sure my clothes all match so I don't embarrass the family. And she has endured many a romantic dinner conversation talking about electronic signatures, electronic notarization, electronic recording, electronic notes, electronic titling, electronic identity, and anything else I can't remember tonight that has an E in front of it. So for her, I thank her very much. And I thank you for being here this evening with me. I appreciate this honor. Thank you very much, Lori and the group.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris, Mark. Congratulations. You've perfectly captured the essence and the beauty of both Nancy and this award. So the American Guild of Notaries Public is a modern day guild grounded in historical principles of craft, excellence, and service. The AGNP recognizes that notaries do serve a vital role in protecting individuals, businesses, and institutions. This work matters. We are the last line of defense against fraud, identity theft, and our credentialing program reflects this responsibility. It's modeled after, and I love where Lori took this, it's modeled after some of the historic guild structures with tiers that distinguish not the worth of the notary, but the value that the notary brings to the profession through dedication and commitment. And at the heart of this credential structure that we've created are just simple truths. We start with the apprentice level, where a craft is learned and honed as a profession. And the next tier is our professional tier. That's the pinnacle of the notarial practice. But then we also added the expert and the master levels, where the advocates and the voices of notarial leadership are recognized. And this credentialing process was designed to determine the knowledge, skills, history, and reputation of existing notaries and communicate that information by means of a comprehensive 4-step process. So an AGNP credential, what the folks you're going to meet tonight, what they have earned is not simply given. It's not awarded. It's not bestowed. It truly is earned. And the successful candidates, trust me, I've talked to so many of them, they're going to attest to this. This process is not easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's not a fluffy award. The exam itself to earn this credential is challenging, to say the very least. No matter the tier, though, every AGNP credential reflects a commitment to excellence, integrity, and public protection. This is the heart of a modern notary guild, and it's the future of the notary profession in the United States. So now it's time for us to introduce the successful AGNP Credentialed Notaries Public. So please, in the chat, continue to show love, all the love, support. I love all the emoticons and the emojis. Keep those things coming as we celebrate tonight. Lori's going to start sharing. There we go. The apprentice credential is the guild's foundational tier. This is designed for notaries who are building their skills, they're expanding on their knowledge and preparing to advance to the professional level. So we begin with those at the start of their guild journey, our apprentices. If you would please show some love in the chat for Lori. You want to introduce these? Yeah.
Our first apprentice is Patricia Broxton from Colorado.
Awesome.
Christopher Carmen from the great state of Florida. Cynthia Mealy from the Valley County, Montana. So proud of her. Crystal Watley from Indiana. These are our 4 successful apprentice candidates.
So proud of you guys. I know you worked hard for that.
Congratulations to each one of you. This was very much a challenge because these 4 people are fairly new to the profession, very committed, very sincere in what they're trying to do. And it was just an absolute delight to work with them and get to know them, and their enthusiasm and commitment just was so evident as we went through the process. So my congratulations to each one of them as well.
Beautiful. So let's move on now to the professional credential. And this represents the guild's standard of excellence. This is the credential that every notary can and should aspire to. So this one reflects mastery of the craft and readiness to serve the public with confidence and integrity. Professional is not the mid-tier or a stepping stone. It is literally the gold standard of excellence upon which this entire guild is built. So please, in the chat, show some love and help us congratulate our recipients.
Pamela Adami, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Pam, out of the great state of California. Jeffrey Clark, also from California. We had a great representation from California. Neat group of notaries out there. Jennifer Clark, California.
Here's our
Victor
Texas.
Diaz from Texas. BK Jackson from California. Gina Joya Clark, California. Kimberly Kendall, also from California. And Robin White from Maryland, the other side of the country.
There we go.
Again, very dedicated, very, very, very impressive people. I got to know some of them pretty well during this process, and they're just dynamite. They have certainly earned this recognition. I'm very, very proud of them.
So much to be proud of. So some notaries choose to go beyond mastering their own practice and they invest in others. And it's an optional service path for notaries who choose to lift others as they rise. So the expert credential recognizes advanced knowledge, leadership, and mentorship. So please, in the chat, let's show some love to our award recipients tonight who have demonstrated this.
Debbie Bess Schneidmill from Maryland, also commissioned in the District of Columbia. Jonathan Brown Guerrero from North Carolina. Shelley Gause, again, Maryland and the District of Columbia. Betty Cratchey in the great state of Tennessee. There are going to be a bunch of Montanans that will be invading Tennessee over the weekend. They have this football game going on Monday. And we're going to be very, very, very well represented in Nashville this weekend. Audra Murray Sue from California. Very, very impressive lady. Just amazed at her. Donna Roach from South Carolina. And I understand, Donna, you also credentialed in or commissioned in North Carolina as well. She's right there on the border. Robin White from Kentucky. Those are our expert notary credentials.
Love that. Congratulations to all of you. So our master's tier, this recognizes service to the profession, not necessarily superiority in performing notarizations. Masters are stewards. These are those who help chart the guild's course for future generations by sharing their knowledge, their expertise, and their experience. The master credential reflects sustained excellence, leadership, and service. So please, in the chat, you're going to see a lot of names that you recognize here. And they're on today's call. So let's show lots of love, support, emojis, emoticons for our masters.
The great Laura Beaver, what could we say? The epitome of a master notary.
The GOAT, the GOAT.
The GOAT, yes. Monique Burke from the great state of Oregon. She is the notary administrator in the state of Oregon. She's been part of our group. Dean Eason Williams from North Carolina. Congratulations, Dean.
Go, Dean.
Dean was one of the very first to sign up and has been just amazingly supportive of this program. So grateful for him. Judith Lawrence, my buddy Judy,
All
the
right, Jude.
FSD queen
Yes.
from Pennsylvania, or, again, someone who has been so supportive of AGNP and promoting it, and really been amazing because we've done it. Matt Miller from California.
Right,
What
Matt.
can I say? Yay. Probably one of the most influential active notaries in the political space in advocating for notaries, and just a true leader in that respect. Jacqueline Phillips, the very first Ron notary in the United States. Been at it longer than anybody else.
It's pretty amazing.
Michelle Riley from Alabama. Tremendous lady. Just great fun. Roger Rill from Ohio. The Ohio Society of Notaries was one of the first statewide organizations. Roger is also one of the founding members of founding sponsors of AGNP, and we're very, very grateful for his support. Yeah. Kimberly Sennett, California. She runs a series of notary academies, notary training centers in multiple states. An amazing lady. Christy Stroff from Montana. A lot of you know Christy, a true trailblazer. She was willing to jump on board and help define how electronic apostilles, together with Ron, could work in the United States and actually in the world. She's taken that and really run with it. She also does training around the state in Montana. Very, very proud of her meteoric rise in the notary world. It's just been amazing. Marcy Tiberio from New York. Everybody knows and loves Marcy. We can't say enough about her contributions to this profession. Elaine Wright Harris from Maryland. Again, just a stalwart master notary. And Celicia Young Jones from Florida. I don't believe she's here because I think she heard she had 7 or 8 wedding ceremonies scheduled today.
That sounds like Celicia.
That's Celicia. She does the notarial act of performing wedding ceremonies. She's got that down pat, and it really is just amazing. So New Year's Eve is a pretty popular day for that kind of thing, and she's a busy lady. But we're so glad to have her as part of our organizing. So here are the American Guild of Notaries Public inaugural class of 2025. Thank you all so much for what you've done, for being willing to go on this grand experiment with us. Because when I started it, not everybody thought that I had all my brain cells lined up in a row. Some people still are a little unsure that this is ever going to work. But what I've noticed more than anything is the notaries themselves are who is going to make this work. It's not because of what we're doing, administratively. It's because you know how important your work is, how valuable it is, and how for so long it's really been underappreciated in this country. And it's time that we take it back and give it the the honor and the respect that it's due. And these are the people who are leading the way. And I know we've got an audience of equally qualified people out there who are going to follow in your footsteps and take this to the make it a nationwide kind of credential that means what it should mean, that you are the professionals, you are the important people in this very, very significant realm of commerce and protecting people who are involved in every level of life's important action. So my congratulations to all of you. And as we're wrapping up, I'm going to turn this over to Tim for just a few minutes. And then I think we're actually doing pretty well on time. So maybe we'll have some time to do some questions and give you an opportunity to share your thoughts before we get kicked off of this. So Tim, we'll let you start.
Great. That was terrific. Congratulations, everyone. So as we come to the close of this evening, I want to return to the people we are here to honor. To our inaugural class of credentialed notaries, you are now part of AGNP history. Your names will always be associated with the moment this program moved from vision to reality. You helped define what credentialing means, not as a title, but as a commitment to excellence, ethics, and service. This ceremony is not an ending, it is a beginning. Credentialing through AGNP will continue, growing, evolving, and strengthening as more notaries choose to stand to this standard. To those watching tonight who may be considering that path, we invite you to reflect on what you've seen here. When you are ready, the Guild will be ready for you. If you are ready to stand with this group, to demonstrate your professionalism and commitment, we invite you to begin that journey with us. And also, I want to say, I have, like many of you, been through many award ceremonies. But I have to say, personally, this ceremony involving Chris Pratt, Nancy Pratt, and Mark Aronson was perhaps the most emotional ceremony I have felt. And I'm very privileged to be part of this. So with gratitude and pride, I ask you to join me in a toast to the inaugural class, to professionalism, to public trust, to Nancy Pratt, to Mark Aronson, and to Christopher Pratt here tonight, and to the future of the American Guild of Notaries Public. Cheers, everyone. And Happy New Year as well while we're at it. So thank you. And back to you, Laurie.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate your remarks and your kind thoughts to everybody. I again want to congratulate the inaugural class of Credentialed Notaries. You are amazing people. And one thing I hadn't shared too broadly, but we started out with over 58 people who registered and signed up for the program. At the end of the day, there were only 32 that received these credentials. It's hard. It was not easy. It required a time commitment as well as a lot of effort, and totally respect what you've done. And you've set the bar high, which is exactly what we wanted, because what you do is so important. And we are really making an effort to make sure that the world knows that what you do is that important, and you do it excellently. A little bit of housekeeping before we kind of wind up here. I know most of you have received your certificate, the credentialed certificates in the mail, suitable for framing. One of our partners, Paradigm, produced those for us. They're very nice. You will also be receiving an email later, hopefully within a couple of hours, with a digital copy of your certificate in case you want to use that. Also a digital badge of the AGNP logo affiliated with the tier credential that you earned, that you can use on your website, your marketing materials, and so forth, because that's what's going to set you aside. And part of what we're trying to do here is to establish a credentialed notary as being somebody that the public can trust. They know what they're doing. If you're a credentialed notary, the public knows they've got quality. So we do urge you to share your credentials in your marketing of your businesses or your services as you go. So be on the lookout for those emails. They'll be coming out. And then I will be sending you your lapel pins that we have for you, with the designations. Wear those with pride. Again, it's an opportunity for you to answer questions about what the Guild is and what your commitment to your profession is. So we really hope that you find the effort and the commitment that you have made worthwhile, and you're glad that you're part of AGNP, because we're absolutely honored to have you as part of the Guild. Bill, do you have any wrap-ups? I think we're...
Yeah, we've got a couple of questions, so I'll bring those
okay
up too. But
we have a little bit of time, so
we
let's
got some time. But I also just want to say, I'm absolutely excited to be about part of this project, because I've always felt that there is a level to take this industry to create a level of standards that raise the bar. And this is exactly what we're doing. And the fact that you have as close to a badge as we're going to get, I'm so excited. I've been wanting a badge since I became a commissioned notary, and you have created it here. So I'm very excited for that. I saw one hand go down. That's perfect. Matt, that clears the path for you. Come on up. It's great to see you here. Thank you. What question do we have?
Not really a question, more of a statement, but first off, congratulations to the inaugural class. You definitely are representing a new era in this profession, as we all work very hard to continue to professionalize the business. And as Lori said, bring the respect back to the office that it deserves. But I want to honor our hostess with the mostest tonight. I want to thank Lori for having the wisdom and the motivation and enthusiasm and brevity to create the AGNP, something that has been needed for a very long time. For those who don't know Lori very well, I just need to tell you that she's not just a person, but she's a whole kind of a person. The ones that can pick you up when you feel like you're at your lowest, the ones that will give you wisdom that keep you going to the next path, the ones that can bring information to you from historical record that you didn't even know existed. And Lori, I thank you for all the support that you have given myself, all the notaries here tonight, and all the notaries that will join the league in years to come. You will forever be my notary historian. So thank you very much, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you, Matt.
Beautiful.
That's very sweet. I thought there for a minute you were trying to tell people that I'm old, but I'll go with that. I am. What the heck? Anybody else?
I love that. Any other questions? I saw another hand up, so we've got a few more moments for anybody who has question, comments. Cynthia, I think it was Cynthia. There's Dean.
Yay,
So Cynthia, come back
Cynthia.
up if you want to. Dean, the floor is yours, sir. What can we do for you?
Again, just to reiterate what Matt said so eloquently about Lori. Lori is if Trailblazer, I don't know what Trailblazer below, but I don't know what's above it. But Lori, that's you. You are amazing. And I'm not going to call you old, but I am going to say happy birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, this is her birthday today, and she is spending her birthday with us because of this project that she has poured her heart and soul into. And so, Lori, happy birthday. You look great for 45. I just can't believe it.
Thank you. You're very sweet. Appreciate that. Okay, Chris, you have your hand up. You're muted.
Okay, thank you very much. Evan. This has been a wonderful experience. I'm just curious, can you tell us what the breakdown was as to the number of people that were the apprentices, masters, professionals, and the masters?
You were breaking up there, Chris, so I didn't quite catch the question. What was it?
Just the break of how many of each category were initiated?
You mean the number of each that we had?
Mhm.
I think there were 4 that made the apprentice. That's
Right.
where we had the most drop off. People that weren't quite there yet. You know, let's see. I think we had 7 or 8 professionals, because that's the tough one to get to that level. Those were the hardest.
And then there were 7 in the experts.
7 in the experts, and there were the most in the masters, which is not going to be reflective of most classes going forward. You know, let's face it, the people that were very involved in the concept going forward were the people that I was relying on because they were already there.
Yeah.
So, you know, that breakdown is skewed a little with this class, simply because, you know, I had to rely on people who have been around for a long time, who were the trainers, who were the teachers, the leaders and stuff. And they were the ones who you know, came to the table, have supported us in what we're trying to do. So, you know, but in terms of, you know, just generally, it was a pretty, you know, a pretty good breakdown. And understand too, we didn't go out and do a whole lot of mass marketing on this. You know, people weren't exactly handpicked, but they were referred to us and then volunteered. So that, because this was a tough process, we all learned a lot. I mean, the test that everybody, you know, heard about was difficult anyway by design, but we also ran into, you know, technology isn't always quite as flexible as you need it to be for what you want. So we had a few issues with that kind of stuff that we've had to work around, and that's part of a process. You learn as you do, and going forward, for those of you who are maybe thinking about joining the guild and becoming credentialed, hopefully we've streamlined some of that. It won't be quite as frustratingly difficult. But we also learned that the exam really was indicative of knowledge and skills. It's not just something that you can read a handbook and answer a few true false questions and get it. So, everybody who went through this program, really my hat's off to you. You did great work, and I so appreciate your effort and commitment. Victor, you've got your hand up, please.
Well, first then, I want to thank you, Laurie, for providing this and for, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You break it up a little bit, but.
Okay. Let me be quick. I'm surprised that Chris didn't ask this question because I consider him as intense as I am. And so the question, and I can guess the answer, but I'm sure there's going to be opportunities for those of us who join to grow to the next level, and that there would be some clear indication of what is needed to get to those levels, what skills, what experience, and so forth. So I'm assuming that that's true, and you can confirm that for me.
Right.
And
yeah.
And I wasn't surprised that the individuals that got into the master and the other higher levels are the individuals that have proven to be leaders in our industry, and that they continue to be leaders. When I did the exam, I learned so much. Even after 30 years of being in the business, I still learned so much. But by just doing the exam, so that the benefits is far greater than just getting that title. It's a learning process as well, and I am going to be recommending the hell out of this, if you don't mind my language, as I go and talk to people, and even to the individuals who have been in the business a long time, that they need to do this for themselves, but also to promote the business and promote the quality of the business and so forth. So, Laurie, thank you, and for all those of you that are in those higher levels, thank you for being the leaders you are, because we are all benefiting and we're standing on your shoulders. So we thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Victor, and absolutely. For those of you who want to go into the leadership, the mentor, the training, that kind of a path, definitely have a program. It's not like we haven't, finalized that, but we've got the concept, kind of grasped. So if you're ready to start working on it, let's get together. Let's talk about, where you are and where you want to be and how we get you there, because that's the whole idea on that program. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else?
You know what I love about this, Laurie, is that all the marketing in the world will serve no true purpose if you don't know what you're doing. If you're not competent, if you're not able to practice integrity, which is knowing what you can do and what you can't do. And this credential helps separate those who are simply those with a rubber stamp, because the bar is pretty low if you want to become a commissioned notary, right? In most states. If you want to take this to the level that it was intended, that's what this program is all about. And I'm so proud of this. And I'm so proud of the first graduates of the program. Congratulations. I posted the link, guys. You can join or just research the American Guild of Notaries Public at americannotaryguild.com. And I'll post this
.org. .org.
Oh, .org, sorry. .org.
Yeah. .com gets you to I'm not sure where that goes. I tried to get AGNP.org or .com.
Good luck with that.
And you really don't want to go to those ones. One of them's a pediatric group in Belgium or something. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, and for those of you if you haven't been on the website today, it's got a new look. So we reorganized it. I think it makes much more sense than it did before. So hopefully easier to navigate and to find. And you will see we do have a whole page now of our credentialed notaries. It's not quite finished because I do want to put links to your websites so people could contact you. You know, I just ran out of time. I ran out a year before I got it all done, but we hit most of the mark by the deadline. So thank you all for joining us today. Oh, Judy, you have your hand up. You're muted.
You're on mute, though.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now we can.
Okay, I just want to say that Lori told me something last night in confidence, and I'm going to share it with all of you. And that is that she flunked retirement. And this very month last year, Lori retired. And the next morning, she was on the phone setting up the guild. And I talked to her quite frequently. She's been relentless. She really has been an example of someone who says, okay, one chapter is over. We're going to do the next chapter, and we're going to make this so special that everything it's going to be, you know, her legacy, her it's what she is going to do for the notary community. So, Lori, happy birthday. And I'm really proud to have been along this journey somewhat with you, and let's keep going.
Let's do it to it, gang. This is fun. You know, this all started because I got tired of people complaining because notaries didn't know what they were doing. I'm going, you know, there are a lot of notaries out there who do a heck of a job. They really do know, they really do care. Problem was there was no way to figure out who was who. And now the credential is a way for the public to know that they're going to a notary that knows what they're doing, cares about it, and does it right. What more do you need, right?
Yeah. Love it.
Anybody else? I think we're good. I've kept you long enough. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate you. Love you all. And again, thank you and congratulations to all of you stuck with it.
Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so much, Lori. Good night,
New Year.
everyone.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Tim. Thank you, Chris
Thank
and
you, Lori.
Mark.
Very good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.